oxide in a filling reagent. Okay, aldehyde. This is aldehyde. Reacts with the filling reagent and forms a acetic acid and forms a red precipitate of cuprous oxide, Cu2O. ఎర్రటి ప్రిసిపిటేట్ అవక్షేపం ఏర్పడుతున్నది. ఆల్డిహైడ్ అయితే అవక్షేపం వస్తుంది. Cu2O ఇక్కడ ఇది జాగ్రత్త గుర్తుపెట్టాలి. క్యూప్రస్ ఆక్సైడ్ ఇదేమో క్యూప్రిక్ ఆక్సైడ్. ఫెయిలింగ్ రియేజెంట్ లో ఉండే ప్రాసెస్ ఏంటంటే క్యూప్రిక్ ఆక్సైడ్ ఫెయిలింగ్ రియేజెంట్ లో. ఆక్సిజన్ రెండు ఆక్సిజన్ లో ఒక ఆక్సిజన్ ఈ రెండింటి మధ్యకి వస్తుంది ఎసిటిక్ ఆమ్లం. ఇక మిగతా ఆక్సిజన్ క్యూప్రిక్ ఆక్సైడ్ క్యూప్రస్ ఆక్సైడ్ తో ఉంటుంది. రెడ్ ప్రెసిపిటీ. So like this, aldehydes can be distinguished from the ketones by using failing reagent and tolerance reagent. Ketones have no reaction with the failing reagent and tolerance reagent. So like this, we have a number of chemical properties. The very important properties are, and these are the properties of carbonyl compound.
Hello everyone. In the previous class, we have discussed some concepts of combinations like definition of combination and formula to find the number of combinations from n distinct elements by taking r elements at a time. That is NCR and its value. NCR is equal to n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial and so on. Some other concepts. Okay. So in the class లో సంయోగాలు దాని యొక్క నిర్వచనము దానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి కొన్ని ఫార్ములాస్ నేర్చుకున్నాం. సో ఈ క్లాస్ లో మనం సంయోగాలకు సంబంధించినటువంటి మరికొన్ని ఫార్ములాస్ లేదా కాన్సెప్ట్స్ నేర్చుకున్నాం. Some theorems on combinations. Here we see here one statement of the theorem. For 0 less than or equal to r, comma s less than or equal to n. For 0 less than or equal to r, comma s less than or equal to n. If NCR is equal to NCS, then either r is equal to s or r plus s is equal to n. So here this is an important point in the concepts of combinations. So this theorem says if NCR is equal to NCS, then either r is equal to s or n is equal to r plus s. So we can verify this statement simply when r is not equal to s. We know that in the previous class we have discussed a formula NCR is equal to NC n minus r. Therefore, when NCR is equal to NCS, when r is not equal to s, then certainly this NCR is equal to NC n minus r, then NC n minus r will be equal to NCS. See, when r is not equal to s. So here definitely these two values will be equal. N minus r is equal to s, therefore n is equal to r plus s. So this is not actually the proof of this statement, so this is a verification by using the concept of this NCR is equal to NC n minus R. So this formula is applied like if NC3 is equal to NC5, then the value of n So now here NC3 is equal to NC5. Since 3 is not equal to 5, when R is not equal to S, then only n is equal to R plus S. So when NCR is equal to NCS, either R is equal to S or n is equal to R plus S. Only any one will be true. Either R is equal to S or n is equal to R plus S. If R is not equal to S, then certainly n is equal to R plus S. So ఇక్కడ NCR is equal to NCS అయినప్పుడు అయితే R is equal to S అవుతుంది. ఒకవేళ R not equal to S అయినప్పుడు తప్పకుండా n is equal to R plus S అవుతుంది. So now in this example, so ఈ example లో NC3 is equal to NC5 అయినప్పుడు 3 is not equal to 5 కాబట్టి definitely n is equal to 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. So n is equal to 8. So this is one important formula. NCR is equal to NCS అయినప్పుడు అయితే R is equal to S అవుతుంది లేదా n is equal to R plus S అవుతుంది. This is one important formula of combinations. Okay, another concept. Now I clear the board. Next theorem is, here you can see the statement on the board. If 1 less than or equal to R less than or equal to n, then NCR minus 1 plus NCR is equal to n plus 1 CR. This is another important formula in the concepts of combinations. NCR minus 1 plus NCR is equal to n plus 1 CR. So here NCR minus 1 represents one particular type of combinations and NCR represents another type of combinations. The sum of these two combinations becomes all combinations that can be formed from n plus 1 elements by taking R elements at. So here let us see the proof. We can prove this in the two methods, theoretical and analytical method. So now let us see this in this first method. We know that n plus 1 CR is the number of R element subsets, that is subsets having R elements of a set A containing n plus 1 elements. Now n plus 1 CR means what? Number of R element subsets. R elements ఉన్నటువంటి subsets. ఇక్కడ ఇందులో నుంచి మనం ఫామ్ చేయాలి n plus 1 ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉన్నటువంటి A అనే సెట్ నుంచి. A అనే సెట్ లో n plus 1 ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకుందాం. ఇందులోంచి R ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉన్నటువంటి సబ్సెట్స్, A యొక్క సబ్సెట్స్, ప్రతి సబ్సెట్ లో ఎన్ని ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉండాలట? R ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉండాలట. సో n plus 1 CR represents the number of R element subsets that can be formed from the set A containing n plus 1 elements. Okay. Now this NCR minus 1 represents the number of subsets containing one particular element always, that is in every subset. And NCR represents number of subsets that can be formed without containing one particular element always. Now let us prove this like this. Now the statement is NCR minus 1 plus NCR is equal to n plus 1 CR, where 1 less than or equal to R less than or equal to n. Now, this NCR minus 1 represents the number of subset. Every combination is considered as a subset. Every combination is considered as a subset. So n plus 1 CR means number of combinations that can be made by taking r elements at a time from given n plus 1 elements, n plus 1 distinct elements. N plus 1 CR means number of combinations that can be made by taking R elements at a time from given n plus 1 distinct elements. So దీన్నే మనం number of combinations అనొచ్చు. We can say it as number of subsets that can be formed containing R elements in each subset from the set containing n plus 1 distinct elements. రెండు రైట్. మరి మనకి ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఎలిమెంట్స్ n plus 1 అనమాట. n plus 1 ఇచ్చిన ఎలిమెంట్స్ లోంచి R ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉన్నటువంటి కాంబినేషన్స్ ఫామ్ చేయాలి. మరి ఇది రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ ఉన్నటువంటి వాల్యూ. మరి ఇందులో left hand side లో we have two types of combinations. Now we have to prove this value n plus 1 CR is equal to sum of two kinds of combinations. Now here NCR minus 1. చూడండి మనకి ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఎలిమెంట్స్ n plus 1 అయితే మరి ఇక్కడ n ఎలిమెంట్స్ నుంచి r minus 1 ఎలిమెంట్స్ తో కాంబినేషన్స్ తీసుకుంటున్నాం. అంటే ఇచ్చిన ఎలిమెంట్స్ లోంచి ఒకటి పోయింది, మరి చూస్ చేసుకోవాల్సినటువంటి ఎలిమెంట్స్ లోంచి కూడా ఒక ఎలిమెంట్ లేదు. అంటే దిస్ NCR minus 1 represents NCR minus 1 represents the number of combinations that can be made from n plus 1 given elements by taking r elements at a time such that one particular element present in every combination. One particular element present in every combination. So this NCR minus 1, this value represents the number of combinations that can be made from n plus 1 given elements by taking R elements at a time such that one particular element present in every combination. So ఇచ్చినటువంటి n plus 1 elements లోంచి R elements తో ఏర్పరిచే సంయోగాలలో ఒక నిర్దిష్టమైనటువంటి ఎలిమెంట్ ప్రతి సంయోగంలోనూ ఉండేటట్లుగా ఏర్పడే సంయోగాల సంఖ్యను ఈ NCR minus 1 సూచిస్తుంది. మరి ఒక నిర్దిష్టమైనటువంటి ఎలిమెంట్ ప్రతి సంయోగంలో ఉండాలంటే ఏం చేస్తాము? ఆ నిర్దిష్టమైనటువంటి ఎలిమెంట్ తీసుకుని ముందే మనకు కావలసినటువంటి ఏర్పరచవలసినటువంటి కాంబినేషన్ లో ఫిక్స్ చేసేస్తాం. సో మనం 6 ఎలిమెంట్స్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఒక ఎలిమెంట్ ఆల్రెడీ ఇప్పుడు మనం ఫిక్స్ చూసుకున్నాము. ఇంక ఎన్ని ఎలిమెంట్స్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి? మనకు కావాల్సిన కాంబినేషన్ లో R minus 1 ఎలిమెంట్స్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఒక ఎలిమెంట్ తీసేసుకున్నాము. మరి ఇచ్చినటువంటి n plus 1 ఎలిమెంట్స్ లోంచి ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఆల్రెడీ తీసుకున్నాం కదా, కాబట్టి ఇంకా ఎన్ని ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి మన దగ్గర? n plus 1 లోంచి ఒక ఎలిమెంట్ తీసేస్తే ఇంకా n ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో ఇప్పుడు n ఎలిమెంట్స్ లోంచి మనకు ఎన్ని ఎలిమెంట్స్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాల్సింది? ఇప్పుడు మనం R minus 1 ఎలిమెంట్స్ మాత్రమే చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి. సో n ఎలిమెంట్స్ నుంచి అప్పుడు రిమైనింగ్ n ఎలిమెంట్స్ నుంచి ఈ రిమైనింగ్ R minus 1 ఎలిమెంట్స్ కనుక చూస్ చేసుకున్నట్టయితే ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది కాంబినేషన్. కాబట్టి all these combinations represents the combinations which contain one particular element always, right? And similarly this NCR represents the number of combinations that can be made that can be made from n plus 1 given elements by taking r elements at a time, r elements at a time, such that one particular element do not present in any combination. ఏ కాంబినేషన్ లో కూడా ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఎలిమెంట్ లేకుండా ఏర్పరచగలిగే కాంబినేషన్స్ ని ఈ ఎన్సిఆర్ అనేది సూచిస్తుంది. సో మనకి ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఎలిమెంట్స్ n+1, ఆ n+1 ఎలిమెంట్స్ నుంచి మనం 6 ఎలిమెంట్స్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి. అందులో ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఏ కాంబినేషన్ లో కూడా కనపడదు. ఏ కాంబినేషన్ లో ఆ పర్టికులర్ ఎలిమెంట్ కనపడదు అంటే ఏం చేయాలి, మనం ఆ పర్టికులర్ ఎలిమెంట్ ని మనకి ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఎలిమెంట్స్ నుంచి తీసేయాలి. సో ఫస్ట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఎలిమినేట్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఎలిమెంట్ from the given elements. Now from given n+1 elements, if we remove that particular element, how many elements will be in our hand? N elements. Now if we choose the required r elements from that n elements, then no combination will contain that particular element. So that gives the number of combinations which do not contain that particular element always. So from that remaining n elements, how many ways we can choose the required r elements? NCR ways. So therefore this NCR represents the number of combinations without containing one particular element, and NCR-1 represents the number of combinations which contain one particular element always, so that are formed from given n+1 elements by taking r elements at a time. Now therefore the sum of these two types of combinations, the combinations with containing one particular element plus the combinations without containing one particular element, always gives the total number of combinations that can be formed from the given elements by choosing required number of elements. Right? So ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఎలిమెంట్స్ నుంచి మనకు కావలసినటువంటి ఎలిమెంట్స్ ని తీసుకొని ఏర్పరిచేటువంటి కాంబినేషన్స్ ని మనం రెండు రకాల కాంబినేషన్స్ గా విడగొట్టవచ్చు. ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఎల్లప్పుడూ కలిగి ఉండే కాంబినేషన్స్, ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఎల్లప్పుడూ కలిగి ఉండని కాంబినేషన్స్, ఈ రెండింటిని విడివిడిగా కనుక్కొని వాటిని కూడితే అప్పుడు మనకు మొత్తం కాంబినేషన్స్ అవుతుంది అనే విధంగా రాయొచ్చు. రైట్? సో దిస్ ఈస్ వన్ మెథడ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రూవింగ్ దిస్ థియరమ్. ఓకే, సో ఐ థింక్ యూ హ్యావ్ నోటెడ్ దిస్. నౌ ఐ విల్ టేక్ అనదర్ బోర్డ్ టు ప్రూవ్ దిస్ ద సేమ్ by using the formula NCR is equal n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. So the second method. Now let us take LHS NCR minus 1 plus NCR. Now according to the formula NCR, let us write the values of these two. NCR minus 1 means n factorial by r minus 1 factorial into n minus of r minus 1. That becomes n minus r plus 1 factorial. Plus NCR means n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. Now take LCM. What is LCM? N minus 1 factorial and r factorial. Multiple values r factorial, that is LCM, into and n minus r plus 1 factorial and n minus r factorial. This is n minus r plus 1 factorial. Is LCM. Now according to the process of LCM, we have to divide this denominator, this LCM, by this denominator. Then what do we get? These two will get cancelled and r minus 1 factorial, when it divides r factorial we get r, so n factorial into r plus, so here r factorial will get cancelled, so when we divide this n minus r plus 1 factorial with n minus r factorial, so we get n minus r plus 1. Right? Now n factorial is common in the numerator, so r plus n minus r plus 1, so So whole divided by r factorial into, we can write this as n plus 1 minus r factorial. Minus r plus r will get cancelled. Now n factorial into n plus 1 by r factorial into n plus 1 minus r whole factorial. So this is exactly n factorial into n plus 1 means, n factorial means it is the consecutive product of the natural numbers from 1 to n. So when it is multiplied by n plus 1, now this product has become consecutive product of the natural numbers from 1 to n plus 1. Therefore, it can be written as n plus 1 factorial by r factorial into n plus 1 minus r factorial. So this exactly like NCR formula, n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. So we can write it as NCR. N means what we have here, n plus 1. So this is equal to RHS. Now from this concept, so the same formula is applied in the problems in this way. If we substitute n is equal to n minus 1 in the formula, if we put n is equal to n minus 1 in above formula, that will appear like this: n minus 1 cr minus 1 plus n minus 1 cr is equal to ncr. So we use this formula in the problems in this way. So n minus 1 cr minus 1 plus n minus 1 cr is equal to ncr. So ncr represents number of combinations that can be made from n distinct elements by taking r elements at a time. Now this number of combinations, we are dividing it as the combinations which contain one particular element always and the combination which do not contain one particular element always. Then the sum of the two types of combinations is equal to the total number of combinations that can be made from n distinct elements by taking r elements at a time. So this is very important formula: n minus 1 cr minus 1 plus n minus 1 cr is equal to ncr. Okay, so note down this. Okay, now we will go to the next point. I will clear this board. Okay. So this is the second method, just now we proved. So the application of this formula is here. We have an example. You can see this example. This example is, if 2 less than or equal to or less than or equal to n, then ncr minus 2 plus 2 into ncr minus 1 plus ncr is equal to n plus 2 cr. This we have to do that. Now answer LHS. So given 2 less than or equal to or less than or equal to n, and then LHS ncr minus 2 plus 2 into ncr minus 1 plus ncr. Now I will write this as ncr minus 2 plus 2 into ncr minus 1. I will write this in as two separate terms: ncr minus 1 plus ncr minus 1. దీన్ని రెండుగా విడగొడతాం. 2 into ncr minus 1 ని మనం ncr minus 1 plus ncr minus 1 గా రాస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు according to this formula just now we have learned n minus 1 cr minus 1 plus n minus 1 cr is equal to ncr, or we have learned the theorem in this form: ncr minus 1 plus ncr is equal to n plus 1 cr. Right? From any one of these two formulas, this is like ncr minus 2 plus ncr minus 1. So in this formula, what we have, r value, r is equal r minus 1, nc r minus 1 plus nc r minus 1 minus 4, r minus 2. So we can write this as n plus 1 c r minus 1 plus, and again applying the same formula in these last two terms, nc r minus 1 plus ncr as it is. So that become n plus 1 cr. So again applying the same formula here, n plus 1 cr minus 1 plus n plus 1 cr. This becomes n plus 2 cr. This is RHS. So this is the application of this formula what we have learned just now. Okay, note down this also. Right, now we will move on to the next. Right, now we will do some problems in exercise. So already we did these problems. ఈ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మనం ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ లోనే ఫస్ట్ పార్ట్ లోనే చేసాం. ఇట్లాంటివి ఈ క్లాస్ లో నేర్చుకున్నటువంటి ఫార్ములాస్ పైన ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇవ్వండి. NC4 is equal to NC6. If NC4 is equal to NC6, so the formula. Now see this fifth problem in exercise. If NC4 is equal to NC6, then N is equal to. So the formula is if NCR is equal to NCS, then either R is equal to S or N is equal to R plus S. So therefore here 4 is not equal to 6. Therefore N is equal to 4 plus 6 is equal to 10. That's it. And sixth question. If 15C2R minus 1 is equal to 15C2R plus 4, then find the value of R. So here also this 2R minus 1 cannot be equal to 2R plus 4. Since 2R minus 1 not equal to 2R plus 4. So therefore 15 must be equal to, from this formula, N is equal to R plus S. 2R minus 1 plus 2R plus 4. So this implies what? 15 is equal to 4R plus 3. Now 4R is equal to 15 minus 3 is equal to 12. Therefore R is equal to 12 by 4 is equal to 3. The value of R here is 3. Similarly, the 7th and 8th questions. Okay, and 9th question. And 9th question. If 9C3 plus 9C5 is equal to 10CR, then find the value of R. So we have, since n minus 1 CR minus 1 plus n minus 1 CR is equal to NCR, or we have the formula from the statement of the theorem, NCR minus 1 plus NCR is equal to n plus 1 CR. Any one of this formula you can apply. So here n minus 1 CR minus 1, n minus 1 CR minus 1, the difference of these two values 3 and 5. Now we have given 9C3 plus 9C5, this is LHS, is equal to, we can write 9C3. So here difference between these two R values must be 1, but here the difference between these two R values is 2. So therefore we have to change any one of these. So 9C5 we can write according to NCR, since NCR is equal to NC n minus R. We have this formula. Therefore 9C5 is equal to 9C 9 minus 5, that is 9C4. So this formula in combinations generally we apply when the value of R is more than half of the value of n. R value n value సగం కంటే ఎక్కువ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆ NCR వాల్యూ సింప్లిఫై చేయడానికి మనం ఈ ఫార్ములా ఉపయోగిస్తాం. చూడండి ఇక్కడ n9C5, 5 is more than half of n, 9 లో హాఫ్ కంటే ఎక్కువ ఉంది కాబట్టి 9C5 ని 9C 9 minus 5 అని రాసి సింప్లిఫై చేసుకుంటాం. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఫార్ములా ప్రకారం వచ్చేసింది మనం. సో 9C NCR minus 1 plus NCR is equal to n plus 1 CR. So therefore, according to this formula becomes 9 plus 1 C whole. This is equal to what? Given as 10 CR RHS. In RHS, it is given as 10 CR. Therefore, what is the value of R? On equating both sides, R is equal to 4. Okay. And next, 10th question. Find the number of ways of forming a committee of 5 members from 6 men and 3 ladies. There are how many men? Men are 6. Ladies are how many? 3. But number of persons in the committee. Committee ఎంత మంది ఉండాలి? Is equal to 5. మరి ఈ కమిటీలో 5 పర్సన్స్ ఉండాలి, కానీ వాళ్ళు దే మే బి మెన్ ఆర్ ఉమెన్. వాళ్ళు మగవాళ్ళు కావచ్చు, ఆడవాళ్ళు కావచ్చు. ఇందులో కండిషన్ మనకి ఏమి ఇవ్వలేదు. జస్ట్ 6 men and 3 ladies నుంచి 5 members ఉన్నటువంటి ఒక కమిటీని ఎన్ని రకాలుగా ఫామ్ చేయవచ్చు అంటే దిస్ ఈస్ అన్కండిషనల్ కాంబినేషన్. సో 6 plus 3 అంటే టోటల్ 9 persons నుంచి మనం 5 persons ఉన్న కమిటీని ఫామ్ చేయడం అంటే ఏంటి? ఎల్లప్పుడూ 5 persons ని చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి. As many ways as we choose 5 persons every time, so that many ways the committee of 5 members will be formed. So this can be done in 9C 5 ways, and this is equal to 9C 4. So if we simplify it, 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 by 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So 4 to the 8 and 3 to the 9. So this is 42 into 3. So this is equal to 126 ways we can form a committee of 5 members.
Good morning to everybody. Today let us see the continuation of our unit 6 in our second year zoology, part 2 in the genetics topic. Yeah, we discussed about the what is genetics and what is inheritance, what is variation in our previous class. This is the continuation of that class. Yeah, as we know that one, what is meant by heredity. Heredity means transmission of character from one generation to next generation is known as the heredity. The characters which are transmitted from one generation, mother to infant or children, parents to offspring, will be transmitted through the sexual reproduction. These characters are known as the hereditary characters. During the inheritance, some of the offspring of the progeny or some of the individuals of the species will show some differences in the character. Those differences are known as the variation. Here, as we know that one inheritance and variation, let us see the important topic in our genetics in second topic, multiple alleles and human blood group. Before that one, let us know what is meant by multiple alleles. Here, as we know that one, a gene has 2 alternative forms or versions, which are known as the alleles. Each gene has a 2 alternative forms or versions, which are known as the alleles. These 2 alternative forms or alleles or versions are present at the same locus in a pair of the homologous chromosomes. These are located at the same locus of a pair of homologous chromosomes. Here if we see one example for this one, here in the human being, 23 pairs of chromosomes are present. Out of these 23 pairs of chromosomes, 22 pairs of chromosomes are known as the autosomes. Remaining one pair of chromosomes are known as the sex chromosomes. Remaining one pair of chromosomes are known as the sex chromosomes. The characters which are determinated by the autosomes are known as the autogenes. The characters which are determinated the sex characters are known as the sex chromosomes or sex genes. Generally in the human being, 44 autosomes and 22 pairs means 44. In the female, 44 autosomes and 2 X chromosomes are present. In the male, 44 autosomes and 1 X and 1 Y chromosomes are 46 chromosomes are 23 pairs of chromosomes are present. The genes which are present on the autosomes are known as the autogenes. Generally, they will regulate all the physical characters of the human beings or any living organism. If you see the example for this one, is here human being. The chromosomes which are located on the sex chromosomes always determine the characters of the sexual characters which are located on the only sex chromosomes. Yeah, we know that 22 pairs of chromosomes are known as the autosomes. The ninth pair of chromosomes, if you see the one example for this one, ninth pair of chromosomes. This is the ninth pair of chromosomes. These are the homologous chromosomes. On the ninth chromosome, we can see the gene or alleles which determinate the blood group. Here, a gene has two alternative forms. Means every gene has, if you see the one example, not this one, if you see the, for example, in the plant, the character tallness is determined by the 2 pairs of genes. Those are the capital T, which determines the tallness in the human being, small t, which determines the darkness in the plants. So, these are the two alternative forms of the capital T and small t are the two alternative forms of the height of the plant. So, like this, each gene, the character, here this is the tallness is the one character. It has two alternative forms. Means one is the capital T, another one is the small t. These two alternative forms, capital T and small t, are known as the alleles. Capital T and small t are known as the alleles. Like this, each character is determined by the one pair of alternative forms or versions which are called as the alleles. These are located at the same locus on a pair of homologous cells. Always these genes will be present on the same locus of the one pair of homologous chromosomes. But sometimes if a gene has more than 2 alleles, they may be known as the multiple alleles. Sometimes one gene may have the more than 3 alleles. That phenomena is known as the multiple alleles. Generally, multiple alleles cannot be observed in the genotype of the one diploid organism. It cannot be observed in a single human being or single organism. But it can be observed in a population, total population. It can be observed in a total population. Now, if you see we will give some of the examples for these multiple alleles. Best example for these multiple alleles is the ABO blood group. Okay? Yeah. Human being or single organism, but it can be observed in a population.